Our first speaker is Larin. The title of our speech is it the leader I see or the leader in me? And Larin states that leaders come from all around us. They can be great figures that live forever in history, or individuals that give or shine bright on a community. It is the qualities and styles of their leadership that make them stand out. Fellow Toastmasters, please help me welcome Larin as she delivers a speech on leadership.
Thank you, Joseph. So what makes a good leader? What qualities do you see in great leadership that inspire you? When I think of a great leader, I think of somebody who is encouraging, somebody who's kind, and somebody who's fair. Something similar to a coach, an altruistic, democratic. These are the qualities I see in great leadership. Let's start at the coach. A coach, when I think of a coach, is a big locker room speech. Somebody pumping up the team, making those teammates believe that they can win, unless they're Oilers. But they don't have to be a coach in that sense. I never realized the importance of a good coach until I started CrossFit. And when I started CrossFit 3 years ago, I wasn't a stranger to the gym per se, but I was a stranger to a lot of the exercises. For instance, I couldn't for the life of me do a pull-up. They had the bars, and you pull your whole body up and put your chin over the bar. That was impossible for me to do. And a lot of the workouts had a pull-up in the programming. But a good CrossFit gym has great CrossFit coaches. And what these coaches did was modify my workout so that I was able to participate with the other attendees. And what they did was they put on the bar 2 really big elastic bands to help boost my weight up over the pull-up bar. So I did that. And that helped me to work out with the other people, but it also motivated me to get my pull-ups down so I could do my own body weight, which happened. So a coach in a sense, not in a locker room, but a coach nonetheless. And that was the leader that I see. Altruism. When I think of altruistic people, I think of the Mother Teresas and the Dalai Lamas of the world. Now, those are great figures in history, but to be altruistic, you don't have to be that grandiose. For instance, last week, when I attended Environment Lethbridge's 3rd annual AGM, we do what we call Green Superheroes, and we donate awards out to the community members who have been nominated by other community members for their good green deeds. And one particular superhero stood out to me. Her name was Ella. She was 6 years old. And for her 6th birthday, she asked her parents if she could host a coolie cleanup event for her birthday party. Pretty altruistic act, I thought. But then the story went on. Ella actually ended up encouraging her entire elementary school to join in that coolie cleanup. This is a 6-year-old girl, and I had a 6-year-old daughter 2 years ago, and trust me, that birthday party did not go that way. It was mermaids or princesses or something like that. But an altruistic leader in that little Ella. And she didn't have to spend her entire lifetime caring for other people to get that quality. That's the leader that I see. What about democracies? When you hear that word, most of the time you think of political leaders. And good leaders who are democratic listen to their constituents and take that information to inform their decision-making power. But a democracy doesn't have to be political. On Tuesday, I attended the Women in Business conference here in Lethbridge with a couple other kick-ass ladies in this room. And at that conference, I found it quite interesting that the entire time the conference leaders were talking about the feedback that they had received from previous years. Everything from speeches to coffee cups. And you know those tiny coffee cups that you get at conferences? So apparently a lot of people had complained about that in previous years. And these leaders of the conference had, for those people who had complained about that, put in their feedback about that, large coffee cups, 12 large coffee cups. So there were women going up to get their big coffee mugs at this conference. That was a little bit of democracy there, but what I really found interesting was later on, they asked for feedback on the speakers. And this just wasn't feedback on the speakers that we had seen that day, but they were looking for attendees to put in their names if they wanted to be speakers in future conferences. And I thought, that's interesting because they're making these attendees, giving them the opportunity to become leaders in the future in a democratic way. So not a political sense, but democracy nonetheless. And that's the leader that I see. But what about the leader in me? What's my leadership style? And I have to be honest, I had no idea until I took a little quiz. And it turns out that my leadership style was a combination of these three styles: coaching, altruistic, and democratic. And that makes sense to me because those leaders that have demonstrated those qualities are what have influenced me the most in my life. Leaders who demonstrate those three styles of leadership have influenced me to become better. And I have chosen to improve those qualities within me and develop and strengthen the leader in me. Next time you're in a room and you feel inspired by somebody, you feel passionate by what they're saying, I want you to reflect on their leadership style. And I want you to think to yourself, is that the leader I see? Or is that the leader in me? Thank you.